Galileo is a social computing system that enables people to test their intuitions by running experiments. Using Galileo, people can design an experiment, get it reviewed by peers, and run it with other participants. Alice has an intuition that drinking lassi helps in digestion. Using a template and examples, Alice identifies a cause, an effect, and the relation, hence forming a testable hypothesis. Next, Alice decides how to measure the cause. She chooses to measure the absence or presence of lassi in participants' diet. She could also choose other options like measuring the amount or frequency of drinking lassi. Similarly, to measure bloatedness, Alice selects a rating scale of 1 to 5. Galileo sends automated notifications to participants reminding them to report their data. Alice selects 8 p.m. to ask participants about their compliance with drinking lassi. Galileo automatically generates the reminder text based on Alice's choice of measurement from previous steps. An early morning reminder is set for bloatedness. Checklists remind Alice to send text messages at an appropriate time of the day. Now Alice identifies the control and experimental groups. Participants in control group won't drink lassi, and those in experimental group will. Alice provides specific instructions for participants in the control group. The same is done for the experimental group. Checklists help Alice review her own work. Next, Alice provides the exclusion and inclusion criteria for participation in her experiment. The final step shows a summary of the experiment design and some concluding checklists. Alice feels that the cause can be made more specific, so she edits the hypotheses. We conducted a between subjects experiment with 72 participants. Experiments created using Galileo were significantly higher in quality than those created using online educational videos. Bob is invited to review Alice's experiment. He reviews different sections of the experiment by answering specific rubric questions and by providing open-ended feedback. On receiving this feedback, the creator of this experiment can respond back and improve their experiment. After receiving 2 reviews, Alice is ready to run her experiment with volunteer online participants. Joe is invited by Alice to join her experiment. Before joining, Joe needs to pass the experiment criteria defined by Alice. After joining, Joe will be automatically placed in the control or experimental group by Galileo. Once the experiment begins, he will start receiving text messages relevant to his group. An early morning message reminds Joe of what steps to take during the day. A 9 a.m. message reminds him to rate his bloatedness. And an 8 p.m. message asks if he drank lassi or not. A community of 18 health enthusiasts participated in a week-long online experiment using Galileo. The experiment was created by one of the members and reviewed by 2 others.